Let's go ahead and start Q&A with Madeline. Is there anything you'd like to say before we get into questions?
Um, I think the only comment is it's been about 6 months since I wrapped up financial coaching, and I think my financial habits have improved over the past 6 months following that. It's not like the habits I built while doing coaching disappeared once I stopped doing coaching. So just wanted to kind of give an update on that. But otherwise, that's it.
All right, so folks can go ahead and throw out any questions. We have a few in chat, but if anyone wants to speak out loud, now is a good time. Or you can put them in chat also.
Looks like Cooper asked a question about the grocery stores. No, neither of those are subscription based. They're not like Costco. Aldi, you can find those all over Maryland, and they, yeah, you don't need a subscription. Ollie's, there's only one that I know of in Maryland, but again, you don't need any kind of subscription to shop there.
There's at least two. There's one in Glen Burnie and one in Jessup, I think.
Okay, cool.
Could be more, but those are the two I'm aware of. And for folks who had never heard of Ollie's, I will be doing a whole discussion topic on Ollie's at some point in the future because I think it's a very awesome place. And I will be excited to share that with you guys in more detail.
Wally, what
So,
did you mean by charts?
yes, Wally, you had a comment charts. Did you mean the PowerPoint? Okay. Everything will be, it will be on Box in the future. No problem. Okay, let's go back up. Okay, Anthony asks, what does parents did not provide economic outpatient care, unquote, mean? I see you put a link to a web page, but do you want to say anything out loud about that, Madeline?
Yeah, it's basically just referring to how parents would give consistent financial aid to their adult children. And the book kind of gives examples of what that looks like, as well as the article that I linked. It kind of describes what outpatient care means. But that's effectively what the book is referring to. So it's suggesting that if you have adult children, to not give them, you know, consistent financial help. And obviously that's a very generic term, and I don't want to tell people how to parent kids, but it's just what the book advises in terms of like it actually long term is more helpful to children, not adults, to not receive that kind of consistent outpatient financial care.
And even though Madeline does not have any adult children, shockingly, she does have friends. As she mentioned, she has friends who are adults that maybe act a little bit like children at times.
Yeah. And that I think is another question someone had, what financial parasites mean. I just use that term as to describe people in my life that would consistently get money from me, either by asking directly, like asking to borrow and then never paying me back, or kind of guilt tripping me into paying for things that I didn't actually want to pay for over time. So that's what I meant by financial parasites.
All right, Jim had a kind of question about CDs. So Jim asks if they are a bad investment and agrees that for a 25-year-old, they might not be right, but thinks that for a 65-year-old, they could be important. You are entitled to your opinion, Jim. I will say that I strongly disagree. As fixed income instruments go, CDs are probably my least favorite, at least of the popular instruments. I would encourage you, Jim, to look at how much return you are getting after paying taxes, and then compare that to how much you would get from a treasury that is whatever time frame treasury, I guess a 2-year treasury. CDs are usually around that time frame. Compare that to a 2-year treasury after taxes, and also compare it to a municipal bond after taxes, which is easy because municipal bonds frequently don't pay any taxes. And if you have a Maryland one or whatever state you live in, then they definitely pay no taxes. So I would encourage you to do that comparison, Jim, and you might start to agree with me a little more, or you might, maybe you won't. Okay, JP has a question. The 5 point, I can't really see the picture. I think it's, I don't know. He or she, the picture is very small. That's all. Question is, can you explain more about the 5.25% cash back into a Roth IRA? So that's not, those are two separate things. The 5.25% cash back is on your credit card. It does not go into a Roth IRA. That is a separate idea. But if you have a certain type of credit card with Bank of America and you have a certain amount of money with Bank of America, 100K plus, excuse me, then certain purchases will get 5.25% cash back. And that means if you have a qualifying purchase that is $100, then they will deposit $5.25 back into your checking account or whatever account you specify for where the money should go. So if that's not clear, JP, feel free to ask another question, but hopefully that explains it. Okay, I see there's other comments. I'm coming to them. Oh, JP asked the same question twice. Okay, Emmanuel asks, in one of the slides about ROI, yeah, the value of investments are beneficial when they go down. I can speak to that. Madeline, do you want to say anything about that?
I think you would explain better than I. I think I
Okay.
worded it a bit confusing in my slides.
Sure thing. So, if you are in buy mode, which someone like Madeline is, she's in her 20s, as she stated. She is a fair amount away from the time when she would retire and start decades away from when she would retire and start drawing on her funds, withdrawing, money from the market. So when you're in buy mode, you want cheaper prices. Warren Buffett is famous for many things. One of the things he's famous for is saying that he is happy when the market goes down on a given day because he loves buying stocks. He loves buying ownership interests in companies. And when the market goes down, it means he can buy cheaper prices. So that is essentially what that means. If you are in the part of life that Madeline is, then having cheaper prices is a good thing. And we have faith, we never know for sure, but we have faith that so far has always proven true that the prices will rebound over time. If they just went down and never came back up, then I agree it wouldn't be so great. But the stock market right now is very close to an all-time high. I think it's within 1 or 2% probably, and has been hitting numerous highs all year. And probably in the year 2030, it'll be at all new highs again, which will probably be much higher than the current highs. So that is why it can be good for things to go down. Okay, Adam's question is, Madeline would like to invest 50+% of her paycheck in Plan B. He has the mistaken understanding that you are limited to 69K per year. What he said is actually correct. We are limited to 69K in Plan B. That is true. For starters, I don't know how much money you think Madeline makes, and obviously I'm not going to say how much she makes. I don't know if I know how much she makes, and she probably doesn't want to say either. But if you were investing 50% and that was more than 69K, that would mean you're making a very good paycheck. I don't know if that's the case for Madeline or not, but that's a lot. I'll get to the point. The interesting part here is that we've talked about this at some other meetings. So if you go back and look at last November's meeting, for example, you'll find more information on this. There's a Plan A, which I think we're all aware of. You have the ability to contribute money to that as well. And if you do it in a particular way, you can't just do it. You have to do it the right way. So go back and review the previous discussion to learn more about the right way. But if you do it the right way, you can have up to, is 69 the current number, or was it 70? Let's assume it was 69 and that Adam's number is correct. In that case, you can invest up to, when you include the employer match, up to 138K. So you could be, depends on how much your match is, but you could easily be putting in over 120K of your own paycheck. If you have that much to put in. Anything that you would like to say on that, Madeline?
Nope, that all tracks. There's a couple questions in chat that I think I could respond to, but
Yeah,
they're not
please.
related to this question.
No, that's fine. But go ahead and say what the question is if you could.
Just to JP wanted clarification on what I meant by opening Roth IRA at an institution that synergizes with cashback. That's just referring to how at Bank of America, if you have a certain total amount of funds associated across all your Bank of America accounts, so like in your Merrill Roth IRA, as well as your checking and savings accounts with Bank of America, in total, you're going to have more funds associated with your Bank of America, and so they'll be giving you more cash back, as opposed to if I had my Roth IRA with a different institution, and so my total funds would be split across multiple institutions. So that's really just trying to optimize how much cash back I get, not so much focusing on optimizing anything within the Roth IRA. That's a different thing.
I think that's a perfect explanation, Madeline. Martin says, yes, Martin, you are correct. The amount does change every year. It goes up every single year. The 69K will not be the number for next year. I don't know what the number will be, but based on all history of however long retirement plans have been around, the number will go up. Looks like Courtney is saying actually exactly what I said out loud. Okay. Deshaun, if I am saying that correctly, says they recently bounced back to, I don't know what they are, but okay. All right, that seems to be the last of the chat questions. Does anybody have any other questions for Madeline? Yes, they have. Yes, stocks have bounced back. Yeah. Going once. Going twice. All right. Thank you for taking those questions, Madeline. We will go ahead and wrap up that topic there.
Okay, yeah, thanks everyone.